Hello everybody, my name is Malia. I'm with the Davis Family Homestead and Remington Rex Rabbits, and I thought I would do a little bit of an introduction video today. I am currently outside in the very back corner of our property, going to be pounding some fence posts today, and behind me you can see our house and some of the chicken area and chicken area over there. So thought I'd give you a bit of an introduction. Me and my husband Derek have been together for 14 years. Homesteading was not in our plan at all. We were quite happy to be city folk. I did love the gardening. We had a condo that was right down the street from a community garden, and we loved getting all that fresh vegetables. But after about 2 years, that community garden disappeared. The people no longer wanted to run it, and never heard from them again, and that kind of sucked. So when we looked for a new house, we originally started wanting to be in the suburbs with room for a garden, and then that evolved into wanting room for a large garden for our vegetables, to, well, why don't we get some chickens for some eggs? Now, the city ordinances, at least for where we lived, you could have up to 10 hens in a city lot. It had to be hens, couldn't be roosters. But they also had to be set back 100 feet from any houses, which for the suburb area that we lived in was nearly impossible to get 100 feet from other houses. So in the end, we started looking farther and farther out, looking for more and more property. Found somewhere in one of the cities that had an acre and a half, and it's starting to get a little breezy, so sorry if you guys get any feedback. But had an acre and a half, and it was a gorgeous property, and I loved the house. However, it was so close to the other houses, my husband worried that the noises from the animals would disturb the neighbors that we didn't even have yet. So it was his decision to start looking out in the country for 5 acres, which was awesome. But the area that we were looking in was so high priced that we had to start looking, like I said, farther and farther out. So we are now about 30 miles too, but about 30 minutes from where our old house was, and on a 5-acre plot now. And we are slowly getting our homestead up and ready. This is not what we were looking for. Like, we sat down when we planned out we were going to have a garden, we were going to have chickens, and that was it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I love goat milk. Let's get some goats, some dairy goats. So we set out and made a 5-year plan for where we wanted things, how we were going to set everything up and get everything built. We've only been in this house almost 3 years now, and it's going a little faster than planned, but really not much. We wanted to have goats by the end of year 4, and tomorrow, 2019 will be the 3rd year that we're here. So we are currently, I am planning, or currently in the process of putting the fence up. We're saving little by little, buying 15, 20 T-posts at a time, driving them in when we can. We bought all the wood posts, or at least half of the wood posts at once, so we could get it all dug and done before the ground froze, because we are coming up on winter real quick here. It went from gorgeous mid-70s in September, which was actually pretty late for the season, to mid-50s and freezing overnight here in the span of a week. But today is gorgeous. It is going to be the mid-60s, and I have to wait around for somebody to come fix a chip in my windshield thanks to a tractor trailer that threw a big rock. So I've figured, what the hey, we'll work on fencing while I'm here. So we currently have between 30 and 40 chickens, which was not planned. We only wanted a dozen. Chicken math. 4 geese, 11 ducks currently, and 1 turkey. Our chickens are a mix of bantams and full size. My husband wanted silkies for their brooding capabilities, and what's hilarious is the ones that have been broody have been the big chickens. That happens. So, got the silkies, got got some Denver chickens, some Duclay, and some frizzle mixes. And then for the standard chickens, we have black copper Morans, Americanas, and Welsumers. Love the Welsumers. Love the Americanas too. The by far the friendliest are the black copper Morans for whatever reason. Maybe it's just because they like the food. So our family consists of 4, me, my husband, and our 2 kids, my daughter, who's turning 18 here shortly, and looking and planning on going to college, which is awesome. I wholeheartedly support her. I think it's a great idea. Gets a little bit of, life experience. I went to college. I loved it. I just wish I would have stuck with it. And our 12-year-old son, who is more into football and video games than he is into anything else. Typical 12-year-old. So, let's see. And as far as gardening, I love to can. I love to, put stuff up and feel like I am supporting the family. This year our garden was small because we weren't in a situation that could have a large garden area. We have somebody with a tractor, hopefully, crossing my fingers, this weekend gonna come help us plow up some area for my garden. I've always done in-ground gardening. When I was in an apartment as a single mom, I did container gardening, and that was fine. But, in-ground gardening is just, in my experience, easier and more plentiful. I mean, not knocking container gardens, but I feel like I can just set the water on, put a little water timer on and forget it, and it'll be taken care of. Whereas with container gardens, I really, really have to remind myself to go water. So, this is, not sure if we're actually going to do a YouTube video or channel. I do want to at some point, but have no idea what I'm going to name it. But, this is real life. We are not perfect by any means. We are learning, because our life went a totally different direction than we thought it would. So we're not perfect, but it is real. So, at some point we will get our goats, hopefully next year, once we get the spring and get the shelters and whatnot set up. My husband wants pigs. I'm not so much a pig person, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to try. So feel free to follow us in our very clumsy journey. If you have tips and pointers and tricks and, hey, this worked for us, maybe it'll work for you, give it, leave comments. We are actually in northern Idaho in the snow belt. So usually, like the last couple of years has been, 2 feet of snow, blowing snow, for 6 months, or, well, not quite 6 months, but close enough. It was a long time. So, feel free to leave comments, and I hope you have a wonderful day.